Hey everybody, welcome to the table. So it's a work night, so I don't have very long, but I wanted to get started and at least get a little bit more in. We made it up to level 3. I don't know if we're going to make it all the way to level 10 in this game or how that's going to work, but I'm looking at the situation here. We've explored 2/3 of the map. Now, granted, these 3 spots here we have not explored. Like we went to them, yes, but there's maps that I got to pull up and we could do something there. So that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to try to go to these 3 locations and see what we can come up with. We would have done an overnight, which would have meant, that we're reshuffling. This stuff refreshes. I think we did the day thing because we did that first before we fixed everything. If I have a cube missing or a stat that's not at max, that's my fault. I'm looking while I'm saying this. It looks like all the cubes are where they're supposed to be. We do have a lot of skills we got to figure out how to unlock next time we do battle. We got this dude that's going to join us in battle, but it sounds like he's just going to join us for one time, and that's it. And then before we leave, I just realized we were supposed to grab a job, which I didn't do. Or maybe I did and I just can't see it in front of me here. So let me make sure that we do that. We gotta always have a job, and I think one of the jobs is right here at the Singing Fields. So easy job. Well, not easy to do per se, but easy to know where to go. Okay, we have one to escort a cart, but we don't know where that city is yet. So yeah, we're going to do the Singing Reeds job. Now, this requires a bit of retcon, right? Because back when we were in Fellsworn, we were supposed to get this job. So it's just go there and we do some checks, and then we can make up to $3. And of course, because of our thief skill, we are going to make at least one more. All right, so we will do that, and we're leaving here. I don't know if I shuffled the travel deck or not, so I'm going to do that real quick right now. I'm looking at it like, so we need 10 experience points to make the next level up. These guys need to start dropping some serious experience points. I guess the one we just killed gave us 2. So we finally had 2 from one single combat. The rats and stuff were only dropping 1. I get it, they were meant to be easy. So we should start seeing the experience points ramp up, which, I don't know, I'm assuming in turn that the combats are going to ramp up too and be a little harder. As far as like unexplored, we have these 3 that we do need to visit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spaces that have not yet been explored. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've explored 14, but technically these 3 don't count, so we've done 11 with 10 more to go. And once we knock these 3 off, then we'll be up to 14 with 10 to go. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and I'm not going to be exploring new spaces. We're just going to go to a place and, resolve the maps at those places. This one is a big map, this is a medium, and this is a long. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, because he does these tricks where you go into a medium map and then it connects to a big map or whatever. But what I'm trying to get at is I don't need these tokens, and I'm going to put them up here. And instead of spending stamina, although we have a lot more stamina now, that might not be as much of an issue. So first one is good. Then we're going to go ahead and cut through the grass. And the grass is difficult, so we're going to go ahead and flip over this. And there we are. We're in the Singing Fields. First thing I want to do is the job. The job just simply, it's a simple one. Spend 1 energy, do an int 12 check. I could do it 3 times, and put 3 money on it. And I may search as many times as long as I pay the thing, and then I go to the city of Eastgate to claim the reward, which is over here. That's an important distinction I didn't realize. Now, the city of Eastgate is interesting because it's closed. We have the outer market here. That's not technically, I mean, that is not technically the city of Eastgate. That is an interesting FAQ question. It says return to the city of Eastgate, which means that you would have gotten that job from Eastgate. Oh, you know what? We did. We got the job from going to this outer market. We're okay. We're okay. I am fine. Okay. Yes. Yes. We're fine. All right. So let's do this. And the way we're going to do that is the mage has the 4 intellect, and we are going to spend 1, 2, 3, right, energy to roll at least 3 times, assuming that we're going to be able to succeed all 3 times. I may need to do 4th. I may need to boost it. There's a lot of things I may need to do. So let's go ahead and let's do the first roll. And that's a 14, which that's a slam dunk. So we got our first money on the singing reeds. Let's do the second one. That's an 18. We got another money. And then our third one, there's a 19. So I made it look easy. Okay, so the job is done, and now we have the actual location. So let's go ahead and, for lack of any interest, we're going to start at this one. So this is the map. Tall grass obscures your view all around. We flip it over, and we've done this before. Remember, we looked at this, but there's these little drag marks, and it connects to long 7. So I'm going to grab this and move this out of the way. And then we will shove that over to the side and get long 7 here. So long 7 is going to look like this. And there's a point of interest 18 over here. So now we got to get a point of interest out. It's called an overgrown trail. Yeah. Standing in a field of tall grass, waves in every direction. There's a low grunting coming from nearby. Your nose wrinkles at a pungent odor on the breeze. The path here seems to dive into deep green foliage. If a fae is in the party, draw key 160. And we do have one. This must be one of the those class quest things. Oh man, I don't even see key 160. Yep, it's here. Forgive me. It is the race-related one. Alright, so let's resolve this first. The visions terrified you, cities overrun. There's a lot of flavor text. I don't want to read it. The truth, we want the truth. Change your character token to DOS FA2. And then keep this card with your character. You may now reveal key FA to the other players and read this card aloud. Looking out upon the waving grass, you think back to the day to your exile. There's been excitement amongst the elders, the sparks of your town. You showed such great promise. Yes, the sparks were pleased, etc., etc. And then it says, keep this card, do not... never mind. I'm absolutely able to read it, because the other card that goes with it, the scroll. So these two go together. But it's just like the other character ones. I think we did one for the Fellish. So that's an interesting tidbit that I don't know what the designer has in mind there, because that has not fully revealed how those play out and what exactly it's going to ultimately lead to. So that's a reason to keep playing. Alright, so DOS FA2. This is where having another player would be extremely helpful. Alright, I did find it pretty quickly. So it is the Sparkless instead of the Fey. Sort of like Fey better. But okay. Yeah, because the Fellas changed the Trickster. That's right. Alright, so point of interest 18. There's a grunting, odor, and path. The grunting, I'm thinking, is some kind of pigs. I will go ahead and do it in that exact order. And then, the Ranger. Actually, the Cleric and the Ranger both need RP points. Beyond the rustle of the grass, you hear low grunting. A large animal, though you don't see anything nearby. You wriggle your nose up. It smells like some gigantic wet dog drying in the warm sun. It's not pleasant. You see the trail go into the grass. It's far too overgrown to pass. You need to clear a path through if you want to continue onward. So we can spend 1 energy, do a strength 12 check, and we would get a RP point if we succeed, and then draw medium 8. Okay, I'm going to put both of these away before we continue. I am annoyed with the fact that I get these maps out and we don't do anything with them. They are neat, but I feel like, you know what, make a video game if this is what you're going to do. I also feel like I'm paying for content that I don't need. And the only reason that upsets me is, you know, we're burning through the map. So here, look, there's a whole bunch of maps here. So that's how I know I've only seen. So the active maps right now are right here. That's what we've unlocked so far, is these. So what you see here is what we've experienced so far, and then the rest of these we haven't experienced yet. So that makes me think there's a lot of game left. But I literally just took one from here and moved it to there, and did nothing. And so maybe there's not as much game as I think. And that's what I meant. I'm sorry I'm being so sourpuss about it. I just have my pet peeves, that's all. Alright, so I'm going to do the strength check. Now, I did just upgrade strength, so I have a +4 with my roll. And according to this, I need a 12. And I rolled a 3, which absolutely stinks. So I add 4 to get to 7. And I could do... I don't have an RP point with the Cleric. Yeah, I can't do it. So I'm going to have to... And it says you can spend a stamina to try again. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. These rolls stink because you fail. Then that one's a 16. So I do pass the second time. We do get the RP point, which wouldn't have helped me anyways if I would have had it on that last roll. That last roll was just way too low. And then it says index this card. So point of interest 18 will be indexed, but I got to get out medium 8 before I forget. And more time spent going through these index cards. Alright, here we go. Waterhole. You cut through the grass, clearing a path to what appears to be the waterhole for the local fauna. The fauna in this case are 2 large boar. They look up from their drinking water, are drinking with wild eyes. They don't seem happy to see you. Of course, it's the wild boar, it's the oinking, or the snorting. Oh, we got a battle. Foe 22. Okay, we've never fought boars before. You know, in real life, boars can be pretty nasty. So, This may not be the easiest battle in the world, even though you think they're just cute little pigs. Alright, so there is foe 22, foe show. There's 3 of them. Okay, we are collecting a mass of cards over here. So remember, this is something that is actually on this card. And then these are all just a collection of titles and junk that we don't need anymore. So let me get those out of the way. I gotta throw them somewhere. I just haven't figured out where yet. Sure. Okay, so move that aside. The first one is, of course, the skills. So they got a flee, stampede. I know in our last battle I didn't do a good job of moving the guy every time we hit him. And quite an FAQ for this one. And you can see we have a green and a brown. And there's quite a few hit points on these guys. They're not going to be pushovers, that's for sure. Crazed boars. And they both use figure 22. They're large. So I'm going to go ahead and put those up there. And then forgive me while I go try to find the figures for these. The only good news here is that there's no boss. So that means some of the cards, they won't actually do anything. And I did find it pretty quickly. It's in box 2 if you're playing at home. And these are the bigger guys. So they would go either here or here or here. Like so. And then there's so we've been using these those rings, and I know there's other rings here. Where did they go? They couldn't have just disappeared. I'm having I'm having a conniption. So here you go. These come out. And then I'm realizing that the last guys, I must have put them away with the rings on them. That was smart of me. What were they? They were the ones that were in the bandit camp. Yep, I put them away with the rings on them. So, this guy here, gotta get that ring back. Right, you gotta always get the ring back. If it doesn't work out. I looked at my metrics. One of you is watching my videos and getting pretty far into them, and you're disliking every single one of them. And I am just very curious, what is it that makes you keep coming back? I never asked for a like or subscribe, so I'm never gonna really care that you're not liking the video. But it just makes me wonder, like, why are you here? But yeah, here we go. So we got the green here. And then we got the brown. This system is one of the best I've seen. I complain, I do all this stuff about games. This system of strapping these things on so you could see, you know, which color is which, I love it. And I know every game designer, and FFG included, really always tries to figure out, like, how do we identify by having the different bases or whatever. It's really well done. My only other thoughts here is, as you can see, there's 2 boars. There's literally only 2 boar cards in the game. So why couldn't that have been painted green and this one be painted brown? The base. That's all. I mean, there's only two. So one's going to always be green, one's always going to be brown. So just paint them. Put like a green, strip on them and a brown strip on the other one. Something. That's the only thing I can think of. Is like sometimes it's like, well, you know, when there's four of them, and maybe that little bit costs so much more. It's like a tremendous addition to the cost. I'm thinking out loud, so I apologize. All right, let's keep going. So we do that, and then we start at. So here, see this is supposed to be like on top of the last map. So that means we would be here like so. And since that's a mage, I'll put it behind. Now this is a wall, because you can see we basically cut through, and now we disturb the pigs. There's some double dash lines, which means that the pig is going to have to spend extra movement points to go through it. But there's no dashed line there. Okay, last but not least, I gotta shuffle the threat deck. Then we can rock and roll. Oh, we do get our bonus dude, who doesn't take damage. That's the thing. They don't really target him, but I guess he just gets in the way. And I really want to start with the rogue this time, but I need to be in sneak to lay those traps. And I'm trying to figure out, like, is there a way I can get a combo point? There really isn't. I mean, I can have the cleric go first, which gives us combo points, but so does the ranger. Like right now, I want to lay down those traps and have those hogs come in and trigger both of them. There's nothing I want more than that. And I need one combo point to go hidden. Oh, I know how to do it. Yeah, we're going to start with the rogue. I'm going to just do a move. That gives us a combo point. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, all the way over to there. And then I'm going to use an action, a main action, to sneak. So it is wasting my turn a bit, but by doing that, that lets me spend the combo point. So now I'm sneaking, and I'm going to go 1, 2 to there. And then what I'm going to do is lay some traps for my second action. And so I will do a trap here and there. And I'm looking at their... So they have this stampede thing that says move through as many exiles as possible, but without ending on any exile. Deal 1 damage to each exile move through, and of course you roll the yellow die. And this thing heals the pig. We do get 1 experience point and a special EBT 19. The flee 3, I'm assuming, is just run away, and it'll give them some points. Moves away from the target. And this applies to each boar, so they get the +2 for each one. That was true for the other situation as well. For the weak point, which hit points get healed, we decide. Can foes normally move through exiles? No, but it's a stampede. That makes sense. To get partially through me, but not entirely through, they cannot stampede through you and will end their movement adjacent to you. I don't even know. How can you partially move through somebody? Unless we're talking about, like, there's 2 people standing next to each other. You can go through 1 but not 2. If the foe has movement remaining after stampeding, what does it do? It will stop moving. If the foe can move through some but not all exiles, what does it do with any remaining movement? It moves towards the closest XL that has not yet been moved to. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so I just took this person's turn, but they were supposed to go first. So they do get 3. 1, 2, 3. So now I took my turn. Thank goodness everything worked itself out. And this out of breath guy, I think, happens because he triggers, I think, at the end of every. Let's see here. Next time combat begins, he joins. Kills a creature, not a foe. Free action once per exile turn. Place Kel on a square in 3 range. Free action once per exile turn. Spend 1 combo point to push any creature up to 3 squares. Then all foes in 2 of Kel take X damage. I have no combo points, so I can't do that. So yeah, he doesn't do anything, Kel, at the moment, but he could have, had I not spent that combo point. Okay, so after the rogue is the mage. All foes activate. We're going to go ahead and start with the... oh, I meant to put this over here. You're going to see why. Because green activates first, because it's lower in the initiative. And so this guy is going to activate. It has 3, which means he's going to stampede with 8 movement. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Spend those 3 threat points. He stampedes with a +1 damage. Now, what the FAQ should have said is it +1 to each hit? Yeah, it would be. So he's going to do 2 damage to everybody he hits. So this costs 2 movement points to go from here to here because of this. That's a double line. So 2 points to go here, and then bam, bam, both traps trigger. And the reason this was important, if you remember from when we leveled up, I need to become trap expert. Have 2 or more trap tokens trigger on the same foe turn. So I get to flip this over, and now ongoing, my sneak is now free, which is huge, right? Because that lets me go first with the rogue all the time and lay those dang traps. And then I may place or refresh traps 2 spaces away instead of 1, which is also huge because the biggest person in the way is yourself. And because you can only go orthogonally. Now that I can do 2 spaces away, I could have done something like this and have 2 of them in front of me. And I even could have done that. But I mean, the whole point is that this diagonal from where I'm standing was always off limits before. Okay, we're going to resolve both of these. So this is a charisma check. And it's just a standard 212. And the charisma is 4 because we did upgrade our charisma. So first trap. I rolled a 9 plus 4 is 13. So that means we do 2 damage. And then just to show you, the pattern for the trap is up and then diagonal to the left. So this is the green here. And this is a armor. And armor. Same here. So if I go up and left, I see right here, I can go up and hit this one. And then I can go left or diagonal and hit that one, which triggers. See, this is the thing I don't understand. Look at this. If I go up and then left, the crit is to the left. The crit is the very same one. This crit only is important if you're going slashing that way. So it doesn't do me any good because I'm hitting the spot that the crit hits anyways. What a jerk. I could go up and left and just remove the armor. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're not going to apply the damage. We're just going to remove the 2 armor. I mean, I do have armor piercing, but focus on the other guy. So we're going to go ahead and do the next trap, which is this one. And I only rolled a 4. It does add 4 more to become 8. I do have an RP point. I can make it 11. I don't want to do that. We're just going to go ahead and do 1 damage. And it's going to come up from the bottom And so that 1 damage, I'm going to damage right here. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'll do that. And I know it's hard to see. I'm looking at all the critical spots and trying to decide like which ones do I have a chance at getting. Alright, so all this is happening on his turn. So that was 2 movement. And then to go to here is 4 movement, because there's more double lines. And now it's 5 to hit me here. Then 6. Then 7. And maybe that's what they mean by partial move through, because he's one in and one out. And then 8 would be to go here and stop. So this one took 2 damage, and this one's going to take 2 damage, but it's the yellow die roll. And I've always assumed you roll the die once. I could be wrong. Maybe you roll it separate for each person. I think in this case I will, because it's like 2 separate hits. It's not like they're shooting and, you know. Anyways, for the rogue, it is the right where it hurts. And so I'm going to grab an orange. The rogue has 2 armor, so it does deflect everything. And then for the cleric, it is the feet. And the feet of the cleric only blocks 1. So I'm grabbing an orange crystal and then applying 1 health damage to the cleric. Alright, so that person's turn is over, but the other one goes too. And it hits as many as possible. So this one has 8 movement points. It would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I did it that way because the first one hit these 2, but this one would hit those 3, because he could hit more going that way. And so again, the cleric is taking some damage. It is the right side, which only absorbs 1. So I'm putting another orange cube on it, and the cleric is now down to 5 health. Originally had 7. Then the mage is getting hit. There's no armor, so the mage loses 2 health and is down to 2. And then the archer gets hit, and there's no armor for the archer, so the archer also loses 2 health and is down to 3. Okay, so that's their turn. Now the mage gets to go. So things changed. The problem is this is a solid wall, so the mage can't, like, it would be really nice to stand here and lightning bolt this way. I could have hit both pigs. But I could still do lightning bolt. You never have to worry about hurting your friends. But I think right now the twin missile might work. Now, this is what twin missile requires. Although it requires 2 combo points, which we don't have. But look at this. 1, 2 spaces forward, and then diagonal. Right, or left and right of that. 1, 2 spaces forward, left, right. It would have hit both pigs. Twin missile would have been perfect, but you need 2 combo points, and we don't have 2 combo points. So that's problematic. So what else do I got? I could use just my regular attack wand. And attack each one. I mean, that's not a horrible idea. It does hit at a precise location, whereas the lightning bolt is sort of a, you know, it depends on the angle. So if I use my attack wand, it is an intellect check, 2 to 12. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Which one am I going to attack? I'm going to attack the green one, largely because that's the one that's already damaged. So here we go. So I rolled an 11, and I add 4 to that, so I got to a 15. So what it is I pick a location, and then it hits 1 to the right. So if we zoom in here, I see a perfect one right here. I'm going to hit a location, and 1 to the right, and then you can see that there's a crit right here that causes damage there. Okay, next one. I'm gonna attack again, and I'm realizing that thing, it heals them, which makes these guys really hard to kill. And I'm gonna hit and go to the right, and that pig is only gonna take 1 damage if I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack the other pig now, for that reason. I only rolled a 4 anyways, so it only hits for 1 damage, because that goes into an 8. So a lot of good that did me. I'm going to be smarter. So it heals from a non weak point. So I'm going to do this, which would cause it to heal a non-weak point spot. And guess what? There's nothing to heal. So that's what I should have damaged first. I'm going to hit this one or that one up there, and then these spots are going to heal. Well, just one of them, but still. I got to damage the weak points, and then go back and re-damage them again. It was really not smart of me how I attacked the green one. So, anyways, turn is over. Well, not the best of turns, but the cleric, as long as they don't do a bull rush, the cleric has this awesome spear that'll hit both of them, but they may run away right here. We're going to find out. Oh, at this point, can this guy go? Well, there's no combo points, so I do have a minor action, which I'm going to do. I'm not going to actually move, but I'll do the minor action to use a potion, I think. That one's going to cost me money, but this potion will heal me 1 health. So I'm going to go heal 1 health, and then it actually restores 1 stamina because of the ability of the brewmaster. Alright, I was going to do a basic move, but not actually move. Even though I don't move, it gives me 1 combo point, which this guy could have used to help us. Do his mini tornado thing, which is not a bad idea. I need to get some combo points going, but by making the thief go first, I sort of screwed it up because the ranger actually does generate the most combo points. Yeah, so we're going to start with the cleric. And by the way, the turn order's fixed. I can't decide the party turn order. All I can decide is who's going to go first. That's the reason why this is another weird thing. Usually when you play an RPG, you get to pick who goes next. That's not the case in this one. Alright, so they're going to generate 2, which was probably a good thing, because otherwise they were going to flee. And so that means that the cleric can start lighting them up. The cleric is going to pummel both of these. And he has the stratagem skill, which costs a mana to replenish, but not to use. And he'll gain a combo point, and exile within 3 will heal 1, and I can move a creature 2 squares. So I'm thinking about it. I mean, there's definitely people that need to heal. I could do form up and make myself and another exile move 3 spaces. See, the pummel skill requires combo points. So if I want to do pummel, I have to spend combo points. That's my issue. And that is a serious issue, folks, because now the stratagem is free. I could gain a combo point. The form up is a minor action. That gives us movement points, which I can't use because I'm stuck. They have me hemmed in, but that does give another combo point. It would give me 2 combo points, which would let me pummel twice. And a pummel would hit both of them for 1 damage. And I get to decide if it's going to come from the right or come from a diagonal, or I get to choose an exact spot. If I don't kill this guy, they're they're charging next turn. Next turn they get to move. They're charging. Okay, well, no matter what, I get to do a minor action. So I am going to spend... I'm down to 1 stamina point. I'll spend the 1. It lets 1 exile move 3, and then a different exile, or the same, can move 3 more. And we're all stuck. The only person that can move is the rogue, and I don't necessarily need to move the rogue either. So, but we gain a combo point. So I'm going to gain the combo point. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a regular attack with the spear. I am not going to use it to do the pummel, because I can't kill the brown boar no matter how hard I try. I can maybe kill the green one, but I doubt it because of the way I chose to attack it. So this is a... if I get over a 20, so the pattern on this one is straight down and then right and then down again if a third hit happens. So we're going to go ahead and roll. I rolled a 17, and I have a strength of 4, so that is over 20. So I actually do all 3 hits. I go straight down, then I go right, and then I go down again. So by going straight down, this is what I meant by I screwed up. I hit this, which causes him to heal 1. So I'm going to heal this one. And then I go right, doesn't happen, and then I go straight down again. Like that. That's my issue. The straight down again actually hurts me. It doesn't. I'm not going to be able to finish this off. Alright, so then I'm going to attack again. And I rolled a 1. I didn't even hit anything. So, critical miss. Alright, so Cleric's turn is done. Now we're at the Ranger's turn. And these guys are probably going to charge. And they are. And they have 2. 2 makes them do a regular stampede for 1 damage instead of 2. And they use 1 threat to do that. The Ranger is going to... well, they go first. So, starting with... now, I could have used the combo point for this. Hold on. I could do that. So, let's do that. I can blink. I don't need to do that. Once per exile turn, spend a combo point to push any creature up to 3 squares in a cardinal direction. Then all foes... that are within 2 of Kel take a damage. So I'm going to move this guy 1. So it's range 3, which means that it's a teleport. So I don't have to worry about the movement points. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and stand here in the water. And then I'm going to push this one 1, 2, 3. And the push, by the way, is not movement points. It's also a teleport. So again, you don't count movement points. And I'm going to push this one 1, 2, 3, like that. So I'm going to make them further away, so that way when they do the stampede, they don't have as many movement points, right? That's the first step. And then the second one is because I spent that combo point, all foes get to take a damage, and I get to decide where. I get to do the X. So in this case, for the green one, I'm going to finally get smart and hit that spot, which does cause him to heal. Another one, and I'll have him... I'll have him heal that one. That stinks, but that's because I didn't play that one smart. As for the other one, I am going to hit the armor, because we got to hit that one next. Because if I hit that one next, then this thing doesn't heal. At all. And that's the beauty of it. Alright, so now they stampede. So we start with the green one first. So this guy will turn around and he's looking at the situation. He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all 3 of these take a hit. We're going to start with the cleric, right where it counts, and that's fully absorbed by the cleric. Then the mage, right where it counts, also fully absorbed. Remember, this one's only 1 damage, so the armor, as long as they have armor, it's going to get absorbed. And then the ranger, where it counts, and that one also is fully absorbed. Okay, so that's done, and then we got this one, and because of movement issues, this is 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, and then I'm going to go this one for 5, and then settle over here. Like, actually, he hasn't revealed himself. Shouldn't have been attacked the first time. Well, actually, it would have, but they would have had to use points to go. But that's okay. He's revealed now, and then we're going to just end his turn here. So just to backtrack, was hidden, so it would have charged for this hidden location, realized he wasn't there, but still had enough points to hit him anyways. That's because remember, the first one only hit this one. It hit the, I think the cleric did get hit twice, so maybe the cleric wouldn't have taken that second hit. But it's okay, we're going to continue. I think I'm winning this battle, so I'm not worried. Now, I did want to explore another map, and maybe that, but it's okay. Let's continue here, and we now have the ranger, but the ranger is point blank next to the crackdack, or next to the one pig here, and it happens to be the green one, which is the one he wants. So he's going to use the crackdax. Crackdax attacks this way, and so yeah, it's a 2-12-20 type of roll. It's endurance 4, because remember we took the axe that gives endurance checks, and I rolled a 7. Plus 4 is 11. That's 1 short of hitting twice. But if you look at the pig here, we do need to do 1 hit up here at the top that just needed to hit once anyway. So that's done. Then we're going to attack again. And I only rolled a 5. And a 4 is 9. I don't have an RP. I could have made it a 12. Oh, look at this. I'm going to retcon that action. To master the fire arrow as a normal action while 2 foes are adjacent to each other and in bow range. Yeah, the one next to me is not in bow range. Never mind. So it's a 9, which means I only hit once. I just need 3 more points. I can't... Well, he's next to the rogue, or the mage can make him re-roll. Do these cost money? Yes, they do. So I'm going to spend this one, which is a strength and endurance check, and let him re-roll. Oh, come on. Alright, 1 hit it is. Right here, and the green one stays alive. What a jerk. Okay, now we're moving to the rogue. They get 2 points. They're going to do a mad stampede here. Oh, I am going to pay my cube to get 2 combo points, which means that I'm going to suck this one 3 spaces away, and 1, 2, 3 spaces away, and then damage them. And the green one is now dead because it only needed 1 damage. And then the other damage on this one is going to be the armor, or the soft spot that heals him. And we're not going to make the same mistake. On this next one, he's going to be toast. Okay, now it is the rogue's turn. I'm not sneaky anymore, but it is now free for me to do, so I'm going to do that. And then refreshing traps. I know we don't do this very often, but I think I can pick them both up in 1 action. Let's check. Only while hidden, Place an armed. Delayed. Disarm the trap token. While in combat or free out of combat, when in range 1 of a trap token, it's now range 2. Put the token on your trap item armed. You don't even need to be hidden for this one. It's a reaction. It costs 1. So that's not an action, that's a reaction. So that's even better. I do have to spend 1 energy to put to pick up 1 trap token. So I'm going to spend 2 energy. This is why I'm glad I got a lot of stamina. Pick up both of these trap tokens. And then I am hidden because of the sneak. So I would have put this here and then maybe stepped step back 1 space. And then I will put my trap here and there. I'm going to get attacked. So I still have 1 more action. Oh. You know what? I will move to here and do that. So I was standing here. That would be 1, 2, 3, right? I can still lay the traps behind me. And then the next action I'm going to do is going to keep me hidden, hopefully. I am going to pickpocket that boar. I mean, I could backstab it, but I should get some money, shouldn't I? I'm feeling like I'm confident that I'm going to kill this thing, but this thing will do some damage if I don't damage it first. So the pickpocket or the backstab goes from top to the bottom. It does 3 hits, and there is nowhere on this thing that even does 3 hits. And a top to bottom doesn't trigger any crits. It's pretty much, yeah, we're going to pickpocket it. So I rolled a 10. The pickpocket, if I'm hidden, adds plus 10 to the roll. So we're at 20, but I needed to get a 20. So now, granted, I get to add my dexterity, which would have been 3 more. So I technically am at 23. And then I'm going to add 1 to the reward. So here it is. Okay, turns over, and actually he remains hidden, or she. Now I could spend a point and attack again. I think I was supposed to spend a point at the end of the ranger turn. I'm going to spend another point and do exactly that. We're going to attack again with this guy, and yeah, I'm going to move him back as far back as I can. And then we're going to go ahead and do a damage, and I will go ahead and damage the armor off of it. We're going to lose our helper dude, so I guess this boar battle is, if it wasn't for the fact that I did it wrong, I mean, I did prolong this, but they could do some serious damage. I guess I'm glad to have the help. Okay, so now we go to the mage turn. And we're going to draw for this thing, which is probably going to go nuts. Nope. They're going to move up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All foes plus 1. And I know they're going to spend 3 to do their top skill. And I got to look up, what does all foes plus 1 mean? We've never done this before where we hit the top. That plus 4 is brutal. Okay, limit break. When threat is 7... plus 1 power token to each foe AI card. All foes activate as if an all foes threat card were drawn. So they all activate, and they all get a plus 1 power token. So the power token It does. It means that they, I'm actually going to look it up. I think it means that every attack does extra damage. The index is excellent on this game. Page 23. Each power token adds 1 additional damage to foe attacks. This bonus damage is added to each instance of damage. It remains until the game ends, or the combat ends. So if a bite does 1 damage, the bite now does +1. If it does 1 damage, and then it has a +1, it now, I'm sorry. It would now deal +2, because the power token adds another 1. Some foes inflict hit point loss instead of damage, and the power token would add to that as well. So basically, power token is increased damage. And then, this guy's going to trigger. So what he's going to do is he's going to go for where I'm hidden. So he will go 1. Now, technically, this guy can't take damage, but he will go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Actually, would get to here, and both of these traps are going to fire. No. Well, this trap is going to fire first. So let's roll for that. Charisma. That's a 17. And remember, the trap is up and then diagonal. So, yeah, we're not really going to be able to take advantage of that. So if I'm coming up this way, I think I only hit that that crit if I'm hitting both of these. Since this one's already hit, I think I start here. So it's an up and diagonal. So I'm going to do here and then there. Okay. Then it's going to, so what was that? That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at 6, it realizes that I'm not there. And then the next trap triggers. And this one gets 8 movement points. So it would still go 7, 8. It still hits the rogue. But the trap still fires, so let's roll for that. That's a 12. And that's going to once again be a double hit up and over. And again, looking at the card for the boar, we're going to hit up and then diagonal. There's 2 spots left, there and there. And then, yes, the rogue is going to get attacked. And it's bottom left. There's nothing there. So the rogue is going to take 1, 2, 3 damage. So he's down to 2 health. Stampede is 1 damage. This is a +1 for 2. And then the power token makes it 3. Now, what is a power token? Great question. I don't know if we have a specific power token in the game. I think what it's meant to be is you just take one of these and you just put it up there to show that it's got a power. I'm curious now, is there a... we do have a poison token, which we haven't really experienced much. Yeah, there's no power token, at least nothing I can see off the top of my head here, or my first glance of the front of the rulebook. Yeah, you just put one of those red tokens there. Okay, that was the start of the mage's turn. So first thing mage is going to do is soft move. Go 1, 2, 3. That gives a combo point to us. And we now have 1. So that way this guy could do something. And then we're just going to go pew pew with the wand. And the wand, just a reminder, hits and then goes down and then, hits and then goes over. So we got a 16, which is a hit and go over. But they're so far apart from each other. There's 1 hit. We roll again. That's a 2, which is still a hit, and both boars are dead. Not the easiest battle. This guy says, "Au revoir, mon frère." Or that's what, my dad? Or is that my friend? My friend. And it would be ma père. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's been a while. Okay, the event card, Out of Breath, is resolved. So when we resolve this, it says put job 721 in the job deck, and then the card is gone forever. So we will do that, and we will say goodbye to our friend, Mr. Lizardface. He goes back in 720, and then we got to get out the job 721, which was part of the expansion pack, but as part of our setup, we had to, remember we had to put it in the deck here. Oh, I'm looking for it, and check this out. He comes back. Look at that. That's not the job we're getting, by the way, but 721. Wild Waves. Travel to Sooth Lake Deeps and then shuffle. And we're basically doing a hunt in the water. That looks like a tough quest. Not quite ready for that. And it probably means that the card I just showed you is like several numbers higher. So it's going to be a while until we get to see him again. Alright, so this is cleared. It was a moderately tough battle. I don't know if I want to explore another map after doing that. So this all clears off. We do get the 1 money for pickpocketing a boar. You'll have to explain to me the anatomy of that in the comments. How you pickpocket a boar. I guess maybe, he had gold in his teeth. Alright. So we do gain 1 experience point. Before I forget, let's do that. That is the most wonderful part of any game. Gaining experience points. I can't tell you how many times I thoroughly enjoy a game, and then I hit max level, like even Baldur's Gate 3. I love that game. It's not a perfect game, but they did a wonderful job with it. And you hit max level in Baldur's Gate 3, and then my interest just goes. Alright. Foe 22. And then it says event. See, it's that dark on dark again. Event 19. Okay, it's rustling grass. What the heck? You hear the beast move off away from the water, but you let your breath out in a sigh of relief. Whatever that creature was, it's still out there in the tall grass. You think if you keep hunting, you could find it. Although, that may be madness. Event 19 goes to B. Remember to index it without looking. In order to draw Event 19, you'll need to find another location where you can trigger it. Alright, so that's a very interesting one. So that means Event 19A is going into the inactive section. And then B, I'm not supposed to look at it, would come in, and I gotta put it in here. That's fair enough. Alright, done. Okay, so now the $1 million question is, do I travel back to town to rest and heal the the people up. I do have some damage. I even spent a coin for one of my potions. I believe it's the potion that gets replenished for free, though. I'm pretty certain that was the one the mage was carrying, because that's the one we used. Sorry, I'm putting the boars away. Okay, which one replenishes potions for free? Is it the herbologist? Fill Hallow's potion with markers. You can take it once per day. And her potion... Okay, it's the one that the cleric has, but I meant to swap them, because the cleric has other actions to do besides potions. So Hallow's potions we can refill for free when we go back to Felsworn. That was the whole intent, folks, is to use that one. And I gave it to the mage because the mage is usually the one that has the minor action available to do it. Because since he has range attack, mage doesn't need to move as much. When you have characters that need to use movement points, and the movement points is your minor action, and the potion is also a minor action, then your moving characters are the worst ones to have the potions. Okay. We are back on the main map. We have completed Singing Fields. They want us to go to the city of Eastgate to collect our money. In doing so, we could go through Green Deeps and at least see what that map looks like. So I'm going to do exactly that. We're going to travel through the grass. And we see the side of a road. We discard and draw again. And it's the Dark Wings. And here it is. Shadow passes over you. Looking up, you see dark wings and sharp claws. So we can run. Each exile does a wisdom 12. If we fail, we lose 2 and we're scratched. Or we escape and we're free from harm. Either way, it discards. Or we can fight and draw big 90 and foe 13. Oh my goodness. I was getting ready to go to bed. I was going to go to Eastgate and call it a night. Well, here's the deal. This particular card only triggers when you're in the grass, which I know we're going to be in the grass a little bit more because we got 2 other places to explore. But to me, this is the opportunity to fight. I do have low hit points on some people, but I can heal them before combat. I'm allowed to do that. You could even heal somebody before they die. But again, it has to be, not... you have to have the action. But the combat has not yet started. So, even before we traveled, we could have done it. So, for example, I have a med kit, etc. So the ranger is down 2 health. This guy's down 3 health. The mage is down 1 health. Everybody's down. That's why I was going back to rest. Boy, this is going to be a tough battle because now is when I wish I had that guy's help. Well, no matter what, we're going to use the potion that's free. And we're going to heal the rogue. And that heals 1 health and gives them, because of our brewmaster, they get 1 stamina. That's a slam dunk. Everything else is a little bit harder to determine. But I think I am going to do it. I'm going to do the 2 potions that the Cleric has as well. So it's going to heal 2 more health. So I'm going to heal the Cleric for 1 of those 2 and get 1 stamina. And then I'm going to heal the Mage to get back to 4 health, because Mage doesn't have much anyways. Gets back 1 stamina. And then I even have these kits. So I can spend both of these cubes, and then I could spend 1 mana to refresh all the cubes back again out of combat. So I'm going to spend those cubes, spend a mana. I only have 2. And so those cubes do require me to roll dice. So on a 2 to 11, it heals 1. 12 to 19, it heals 2. 20 or more, it heals 4. So that's a 12. And it's a wisdom check, so that's a 15. So we're going to heal 2. That upgraded kit is awesome. So we're going to heal 2 here. And then we're going to do it again. That's a 2. That means it heals 1. And we'll heal the priest for 1. Then I'm going to spend mana again, and we're going to use them again. A 19 becomes a heal 4. So bam bam. And you know what? I just realized we shouldn't have used the heal potions. But that's okay. We're done. So I only need to use 1 of these. And I still have 1 left on the med kit. Alright, all this before combat, because, yeah, combat's going to be quite the thing. So we are going to end up in Green Deeps. It's a big 90 fight. And this is a big 2 location. So I can get both of those out. We're not doing the big 2. I'm just getting it out for the next video, because if we're gonna do this combat, I'm definitely wrapping it up after the combat. I gotta work tomorrow. All right. I was like, where's Big 2? Yeah, I was looking in the active section. Alright, so Big 2 is 2 massive icebergs slowly melting in the warm grass. So, just so you know, there's a point of interest and an event, and then there's another smaller map. So we can deal with that, next video. I'm just going to set it off to the side. So we're going to do a big 90 in the grass again. I think we just did one. We did one on the road. There's a mountain. There he is. There's the grassland one. Because that's the one where, you have to run around and the grass blocks your way. And we got another creature that's going to fly everywhere. Where did my card go? Did I cover it up? The travel card. Where did it go? I was just looking at it. I couldn't have put it away. We still need to resolve the card. Man, I'm having a bad day. I picked it up. I was looking at it. I was reading it to you. It was called Dark Wings or whatever. I keep wanting to look underneath here, because where would it have gone? So I was getting ready to set it up, then I was like, oh, you know what? We need to heal ourselves before all this happens. So I put the card down somewhere. I'm embarrassed. Alright, let me pause until I find this. That bugger took me 20 minutes to find. It was on top of the world map and moved with it. I was looking everywhere and I couldn't find it. Anyways. Oh boy. Alright, we are fighting it. Oh, excuse me. I have to get Foe 13. And because this took so long, I am Gonna set up the battle and at least analyze it a little bit. But I don't think I'm gonna fight it tonight. I gotta go. So it is a Kiro, which looks like a giant bat, a creature, and it's going to be figure 200, and it's a boss and a mob. So it's both, which just means it's going to go almost all the time. And look at all those hit points. Oh boy, we're in for a battle. Okay, so that goes up here. The Kiro is going to go, let's see, place it onto X and the party on L and or K. So I'm not going to make my final decision on where we're going. I'm just putting some on L and some on K. Whoops. Didn't mean to bump so much. So that's these two locations. And he's going to be on X, which is right here. But I got to get the figure out. Found it right away. That's a nice feeling when you can find something right away. Now that's an interesting miniature. Alright, so that goes there. Covers up all of X. And I'm guessing I'm probably going to want to put my melee characters like so. Make sure the melee is as close as possible. I don't want to budge them up too much because I don't know what kind of attack this thing does. I had another card for him. There were 2 cards. Here's the other one. So he does this thing called Shred and a Shred Screech. So the Shred, 5 damage. Whew. All healing effects are halved. The attacker gets -2 health if you hit his soft spots. And then all exiles check endurance 20. And if they fail, they lose 3 health and flee 4. This is going to be a horrible battle. So what is this? You gain key 502. What? Oh, yeah. Okay. Is this a boss and a mob? It will activate either. If you're in direct cause of the wound, you lose the health. Yeah, this is not, I'm not sure I'm going to survive this. And then what did it say you get? You get key 502. Hardened points. Open box G7 and get the 10 hardened cubes. I have no idea what box G7 is. There's this LG2 I'm not supposed to open until directed. Maybe that's what it's referring to? I don't know. See, it doesn't tell me to open that. It says open box G7. Ay. Okay, let me look at the rulebook. This is wasting even more time on me. It doesn't list the boxes. Okay, I think I found it. So on these figure boxes, you can see right here, box G7 is one of the boxes in the figure. So I'm going to open this up and get out these yellow cubes. So those, I guess, are hardened points. It's interesting. You know, Gloomhaven does stuff like that. where certain rules of the game, Pandemic Legacy, will do stuff like this. And then the components are hidden. You don't even know that these existed. Alright, so then basically this guy is going to get 3 hardened points, like so. And then has, oh my gosh, look at all the armor on this guy. How do I flee again? I may have to figure that out. This guy is nothing but armor, every location. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. That's hardened points and armor, every location. When hardened points is damaged, it stops all directional damage that would continue past that point. Remove the hardened cube and replace it with an armor cube. Piercing damage doesn't do anything. Armor cubes acts like normal hardened cubes. So it's trying to just show when you're doing an A attack. So you're coming in from the right, you hit the hardened, and then you just stop. You can't keep going. Then the B is one of those hit right and up. You go to the right, and then you have to stop. Same with the C. You go to the right, but you can keep going down. Interesting, because you can't go through it. And then D, because that's just an armor, you can go bing, bing, bing all the way through. I really appreciate this, but this is now another set of rules I have to keep in a card that can easily be lost. And that's what I don't like about these games. I am going to determine that this battle is way too hard. I mean, I'm just looking at the sheer amount of damage you have to take just to kill this thing. Although it might be doable, I don't know. And it does move around. I mean, the traps, we can get the traps to work on this thing. If you defeat it, I mean, when you defeat it, all it is EVT 80. Alright, do I do this? It's way too late. Page 33 is fleeing combat. How do I do it? The exile must be adjacent to the hex pointer that leads to the world map or stairs that lead back. Only one exile needs to take the flee action for the entire party to flee. As a free action, draw event 333. In which case you draw there could be a different event you have to draw on certain locations. So this one doesn't specify. Yeah, I don't have time to do this battle, so I'll have to do it tomorrow. But it's definitely got me thinking now. I'm going to have to think about this all day while I'm at work tomorrow. So there you go. I'm starting to think about the game now. Well, I asked for a harder battle, or more interesting battle, and I certainly got that. This one might be out of our pay grade. Especially since we just fought the boars, and I spent a lot of my health potions. I'm currently looking at my situation. I have 1 kit and 2 health potions left to heal myself. And that is only on certain characters, right? So you gotta have certain actions, etc. This is where I really wish I had that buddy helping us. And we don't. So, Yeah, and then the fact that this guy triggers and goes. Now there are a few cards on here. Alright, so that's one time he won't attack. So 1, 2, 3 attacks, 1 not, 2 not, 4, 5, 3 not, 6, 7, 8. He's going to attack 9 times and 3 times not attack. My only solace is he won't have a lot of threat. Because since he's attacking all the time, he's going to burn all of his threat. And if you look at this, like the Screech is really nasty, but that's only if he has 2 threat. Otherwise, he's not going to have that 2 threat, because 3 times we get a reprieve where he doesn't attack, but then the Screech is coming. So it's like making up for the fact that he missed an attack on us. My larger concern is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have like 6 orange cubes because we've already taken damage from the boars. But it is what it is. And yeah, as you can tell, I really want to resolve this, but I absolutely gotta go. Thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.